Thank you, Karina, and welcome again to a special edition of ABC News Breakfast from Parliament House in Canberra. Showdown 4 p.m. in this building behind me in just under 3 hours' time. Labor MPs will meet to choose between Julia Gillard and Kevin Rudd for the Labor leadership and, by definition, the Prime Ministership of Australia. And as we go to where all numbers are pointing to a resounding victory for the Prime Minister over Kevin Rudd. Let's bring into the conversation now the Defence Minister, Stephen Smith, a strong supporter of the Prime Minister. Minister, good morning.
Good morning.
With 3 hours or so to go, how do you read the numbers?
Well, the Prime Minister, I think, this morning will get a convincing win, and that's a good thing for her and a good thing for the government. As you say, I'm a strong supporter of her. But the most important thing after the ballot today is to draw a line under the sand and to move on. We now need to get on with the job of governing, of managing the economy, of managing our national security interests, and the community, I think, will judge us on our performance after today's ballot.
What is a strong victory? There is lots of talk about a 70-30 split. If Kevin Rudd was limited to 30 votes, would that limit the possibility of that being a launching pad for any further challenge by him?
Well, I think irrespective of the number of votes that he gets, and I've seen in the course of the last week or so his supporters talk in terms of 40 votes and above, but he's also said yesterday that this is it for him, and I think that's the most important thing.
And do you believe it?
Well, we take that at face value, but I think to go back to an earlier leadership contest, when Kevin became leader in December 2006, he said that there had to be zero tolerance for ill discipline, and the same rule applies now. And I think my caucus colleagues, irrespective of who they vote for, will take a very dim view of any ill discipline. We can win the next election. We've done, in my view, a good job of running the economy, a good job of protecting our national security interests, but we've done a bad job of protecting our own political interests. A lot of that has had to do with leadership tension. So the task ahead of us now is to prove that we're a political party worth our salt, to put this behind us and just get behind the Prime Minister, get behind the government and discharge our obligations to the nation and run the country.
You said in an earlier interview, I think it was with Late Line earlier this week, that this contest was no different to former leadership battles, including the one between Bob Hawke and Paul Keating, no less robust. That was some days ago. Surely we've moved well beyond that, and things have got really out of control, really vitriolic between both camps.
A couple of things. Firstly, I'm not sure that's right. I mean, I've had personal experience in the Hawke-Keating, watched the Howard-Peacock, personal experience in Crean Beasley and the like, and they are all very robust.
But this is a particular level of nastiness.
Well, I think the particular level of scarification was Malcolm Fraser on John Gorton. So it's not as if people haven't said these things about each other in the past. That's the first point. Secondly, the community understands when there is a contest on. They understand when there is, as Paul Keating would say, a scrap on for political power. But I think how they judge us is once that contest is over, they then say to themselves and to us, well, we're sick of that, now get on with your job, get on with discharging your obligation. And so far as I'm concerned, as a member of a Labor government, that's discharging an obligation to the millions of people out there who vote for Labor, the thousands of people who are party activists, but it's also discharging an obligation to the country. And I've always been of the view that if we govern well, when it comes to the election in August, September, October of 2013, we will be competitive and not well recognised, but a couple of polls have been out in the course of the last week which have got us at 47-53. Well, that's a better position than at various stages of either the Hawke, Keating or Howard government. So we are a long way from being politically dead, provided we start doing our jobs.
There's equally another poll out this morning, the News poll, which has a bump in Labor's primary vote, but still has the Prime Minister's satisfaction rating dropping to 26%. That still underscores the significant problems you have with Julia Gillard and selling her as an electorally saleable contest to voters.
Well, there are a couple of reasons why I'm a strong supporter of her. I've made my analysis clear about the end of Kevin's time as Prime Minister. But Julia Gillard as Prime Minister, from a minority government position, has effected some very important long-term enduring reforms, whether that's putting a means test on private health insurance, whether it's putting a price on carbon or a tax on pollution, whether it's the structural separation of Telstra and the NBN, and that's at the same time as managing the economy and protecting our national security interests. I think she has got things done, and what she now needs is clear air. What she now needs is essentially a fair go to continue that reform in the run-up, the 18-month run-up to the next poll.
Well, if Julia Gillard does prevail over Kevin Rudd already, of course, has gone to the backbench. The Foreign Minister's job is up for grabs. Are you interested again?
Well, I've been both Foreign Minister and I am Defence Minister. I'm very happy being Defence Minister. I'm old-fashioned about these things. I do the job that I'm asked to do until such time as the Prime Minister says to me, I require you or I'd like you to do a different job. So it's entirely a matter for her. But I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I've been in, if you like, the national security space all of my time as a minister, and I enjoy that very much. It's a privilege and it's a heavy obligation, but I like to discharge it. But it's entirely a matter for her.
We'll find out what happens. Stephen Smith, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks very much.